Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 256 of a year of change. Today we're getting back again into our little snacky things. And I have another seedy thing. See, that sounds bad. Thing with seeds. So seedy thing. Something new. This is something I've wanted to try for a while. I've seen people, they've said, oh, it tastes really good. And I've heard everything from it tastes like raspberries to it tastes like peaches and it tastes really, really good and all the other things. And it's nothing that I've ever actually tried before, but there's a store near work that actually sells them, and they were selling some, so I decided to buy one. And it is, I'm making noise already. It is one of these. This is a prickly pear. Now, the thing is, I've never tried, or I actually have had one now. I had never tried one before, and I assumed that this was actually going to be, that was going to taste like a pear, that it was a member of the pear family or something, because I didn't do any research on it. But as you can see, there's a little thing right in there. This actually is a flowering plant, or fruit, I guess, that comes off of a cactus. And you can't remember the name of it. It's this. Here we go. That's the name of the cactus. And basically all this is, it's just, it flowers and then it turns into a fruit like anything else. But this is what I was going to try. Now, the main thing with this, don't do what I did. I started looking at, how to eat them. Because generally when I try to find something new, I think, okay, is it going to kill me if I eat it raw? Do I cook it? Do I just eat it plain? What do I do? With fruit, it's generally fairly safe that you can eat it raw. But we did look at the eddos, which are toxic if you don't cook them. So I thought, I'll take a look. And every last one of them, they were just like, what you do, you take it, you cut it open, you peel it, and then you eat it, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to peel it. It's just I'm going to eat everything inside of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Don't do that. Peel it. Trust me on this. Because, see these little nubby, nipply things sticking out all over the place on these? These, actually I can sort of see one. These are actually the lack of a better term, the nodes where the cactus thorns actually poke out. Now, the problem with these is that I didn't know this at the time because I didn't read up enough on it. These are itty bitty teeny tiny little hairs. Little thorns. And there can be dozens of them in each one of those little spots. And I have one stuck in my hand right now. Move that. It's just making noise all over the place. I have one stuck in my hand right there, right now. Because when I opened it up and I ate it, I thought, this is fine. Everything is great. And then my hand started to itch. And you can sort of, like, if you pinch the skin this way and I can sort of look against a black background, I can sort of see it. I've tried tweezers. I've tried nail clippers. I've tried my teeth. Can't get it out. It drives me nuts. And it feels like, if you've ever gotten fiberglass in your hand or on your arm or something like that, that's what it is. It itches very, very much. So, yes, peel it. You don't have to be like super, super careful when you're trying to peel it, because with these, the reason why, and I can sort of feel them when I do that, which is probably stupid because they probably just put more in my hand. I learn. When you're trying to open it up, you can just sort of cut it open this way or slice. I can feel it in my finger. I got another one in my finger. So, if you just cut it this way, then you can cut it down that way and peel it open, and then take your time before you eat it. But the thing that really struck me with this when I first opened it, because I had never tried one of these before, so we're going to play with knives for a moment, if you don't mind. I'm going to cut this open. You can see it's very splashy all over the placey. The thing that struck me the most about all of this was this. It is bright, bright purple. I'm going to put that knife over there. I wonder if I squeeze it. Yep. Nope. Can't see anything. The color is really, really striking. Is it? Yeah, it's showing up. It's a little darker than it is showing up on the screen. But that is pretty much what it looks like inside. Pretty much. And I can feel it in my fingers already. This is why you need to be careful when you cut it. Cut the top off. Slice down the middle like this. Then start peeling stuff off. I didn't do that. I just went and ate it like a kiwi, basically. Not the smartest thing to do, really, because obviously now I have itchy hands. Very itchy hands, which will probably drive me nuts for the rest of the day and into tomorrow and the next day until I finally get frustrated and want to cut my hands off. So, anyway, we're going to peel this open this way because I think this is probably the best way to do it. Ding, 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 slice. Itchy nose. All right. I probably have spikes in my nose now. Anyway, it's very, very bright. The main thing with this, there's like the outside portion of it is I don't know if you can see it. There's sort of like rings in it, like a tree. The center part is filled with seeds, and just like the pomegranates and the passion fruit, actually, the seed. Oh, look, there we go. We can peel it open this way. Ta-da! You can see the seeds are edible. These ones are very, very hard, though. They aren't the same as the passion fruit, where you just sort of crunch it, and it was like the little M&M coating that you got on it. My hand is so itchy right now. They're actually quite hard. They're fairly big, and I'm going to see if I can get one. Now, these will stain everything, just so you know. Yeah. Sorry, that's kind of gross. I'm going to try not to fling this everywhere. It's not going to work because there's a little bit of a coating in there. But they're really hard seeds, and they don't really pulverize the same way that the passion fruit ones did. But, they're seeds. They aren't going to hurt you. You're going to be fine. But you can eat everything right down to the peel on this. And I don't know if it's because they're going out of season or what the issue was. Ugh, my hands are sticky and itchy. But they don't have a really strong flavor to them. It's one of those it kind of tastes like, I don't know yet. So it's the ones I got anyway were mild. I'm going to try to open up the other one because this one might be different. I think this is the same kind. I think this is the purple. There's a purple and there's a yellow kind as well. And I'm going to, this is the purple. Oh, but you can see the rings in this one because it's probably not ripe yet. As you can see, there are a few fibers in there. Yes, can you see that? Give you a better vantage point. There we go. Fibery things. You don't want to eat those anyway. But as you can see, this one has a more pronounced ring in it. Here we go. I'm just looking at my monitor to make sure that I have the right thing. So as you can see, this one probably just isn't ripe yet. This one's a little harder, but you can see the seeds in there. And you can't eat the flesh around it, but the seeds, I guess, are the main part. Where this one is not as ripe, I'm going to try to be very careful, by the way, because it doesn't even smell like anything. It has a very neutral smell to it. So it's not like a strong flavor or anything like that. That probably wasn't smart, but it's okay. If I had to describe the taste, it does kind of taste like raspberries, actually. A little bit. This one does. When you really stop and think about it, but it's such a mild taste. Oh my god, my hand is itchy. It's really, really, really itchy. I have little prickly things all over me. It's inside my fingers. Anyway, it does taste a little bit like raspberries. Not a really strong flavor, but there's definitely that flavor there. So I know this seems like a lot of work to try to go through just to get a piece of fruit, but it's something different that you can try. And especially where we're still looking sort of at the fiber aspect of it. The seeds, obviously that's part of the reason why we're doing this as well. Now, as far as nutrition goes, it's nothing major. I mean, this is another one of those things people went, oh, it's a superfood. No, it's not. We know by now that anytime we hear that, no, it probably is going to be about the same as an apple. And guess what? It's about the same as an apple. There's still 4 grams of fiber in there. So there's soluble fiber, which is in the form of pectin, which is really the sort of the dye and the mealy bits of it. And then there's the insoluble fiber, which are the seeds, and the itchy thorns, which do not eat the thorns. So I would, again, highly recommend, oh my god, my fingers. I would highly recommend peeling it before you eat it, and being very careful as you do so, because as you can see, it gets in under your skin, and like everything on my hand right now, I can feel that it feels like there's fiberglass all through it. Yeah, resounding success and an amazing, what am I looking for? I say it a lot, don't I? Not anecdote. When someone's trying to say this is testimonial, that's the word I'm looking for. There we go. Testimonial to the fruit itself. But the thing is, it's different. It was something that was a little bit different, and I've always wanted to try one. Glad I did. I probably would do it again, but it wouldn't be just to eat it raw. I would probably want to mix it in with something. It'd probably be very good mixed in with like cottage cheese or yogurt or something like that, just to sort of mix in the textures and stuff like that. Again, oh my God, I cannot tell you how itchy my fingers are. And it's because every now and then when I do, like when I rub my skin, I can feel it. I can feel them poking into my skin. And there are dozens on each of those. So when you're preparing them, be very, very careful. Don't touch any of the little nodes. Just keep it on the bald part and then chop it that way, peel it off. Be very, very careful. Don't eat it until everything else is taken care of. Sounds really, really dangerous. You're not going to eat the thorns. You're going to be fine that way. Although, oh my God, that would be itchy. Can you imagine? Like if my fingers, oh my God. Anyway, if I had this itchiness in my throat, my esophagus, or no, it's not your esophagus. What is it? Yeah, it's esophagus is food. There we go. Trachea is your breathing. That's what I thought I confused. If I had that in my throat, that would drive me nuts because you can't do anything except like ram a toilet brush down there to try to scratch it, which would be even grosser. Grosser-ister. There you go. But, yeah, hands are extremely itchy because I can feel these little itty-bitty tiny thorns, and they're smaller than a hair. Like, it's really hard to see, and like fingernail clippers can't even grasp onto them. So be very careful. Or wear gloves. Just wear, like, some kitchen gloves or something as you're peeling it. When it's all done, then you should be fine, and you can scrape it off and put it in whatever you want. This has not been a very big success, has it? Because I'm very itchy. Yeah, but the fruit is good. It's not bad. It tastes like a big raspberry. Something different anyway. And that's really sort of what we're trying to do is just, aside from the god-awful, annoying, itchy hands, which I'm just going to claw my fucking skin off. See, I can feel it with my tongue when I do this. I can feel it. It's in my fingertip somewhere, but I can't see it because it's really, really tiny. And eventually, if I do see it, I'm going to need to pull it out. But, oh my God, this is going to drive me nuts for a very long time. Because it's small enough to get in there and not small enough to get it out. Now, the fruit inside, as well, the dye in it, can stain everything. So be very careful. I have heard people say that it can actually stain your teeth. I don't think it's permanent, obviously. Just when you're eating it, just like you would with, anything red. That dye can stain your teeth, but you brush your teeth, you're going to be fine. So you'll be all right. But the main thing with this, I guess, the thing that made it so interesting was sort of the texture, more than the flavor itself, because the flavor is, as I say, sort of a mild, sort of a mixture between a raspberry and something else that I can't quite put my finger on. It's good. It's not like raspberry and anchovy. It's a good flavor to it. But it's the seeds themselves that's just sort of that little textury, crunchy thing that are kind of neat. And the seeds don't taste sour or anything. There's no flavor to the seeds at all. But if you're looking just for some extra, something different, then you could try this. Plus, it has the word prickly right in it, so come on. Which I can see why. This is why. There's too much. There's too many prickly things all over the place. I'm going to see if I can give you a good cross-section of this one. Ding. There we go. So you can sort of see where the ring is. And then bright red. That's what really struck me the most out of all of them. But, or out of all the things about it. Even I'm still, I was going to say fondling. I'm still fondling my prickly pear. Anyway, yeah. Not a pear. Can stain stuff. Yum yum. I don't have, I think all of these were the same. The reason why I got the second one was because it was originally so green. I thought it might be a different strain, but you can sort of see it start getting purple there. These are the purple ones. There are yellow ones you can get that are sort of like a mango, bright, orangey yellow inside. I don't know what those taste like. I would assume they taste somewhat similar because they all come from the same plant. I think. Do they? Okay. But in general, let's see if I can do this again. See if I can get a better idea as to what this actually tastes like without sticking a knife in my mouth, because that was probably stupid. But I'm not driving. I don't care. Now the texture itself is sort of like if you've ever had watermelon that was a bit dry, sounds weird, but if you've ever had dry watermelon, you know what I mean. It's that sort of texture to it. Oh, I'm trying to think. You know what? Actually, it could be. It could be sort of a mix between raspberry and watermelon. That would describe it fairly well. Just like that flavor, and it's fairly mild. It's just like how watermelon sort of tastes mild that way. If there was sort of that raspberry-ish flavor mixed in with it, I would say that's probably a close approximation. Is a cross between watermelon and raspberry. So if you don't like watermelons and you don't like raspberries, you're probably not going to like these. But in general, I think it's pretty good. I don't know the sort. Well, no, there's quite a bit of fiber in there as well, so it should work similar to watermelon and raspberries. Now, as far as fiber goes, it's not a super fibery food. It's about as much as an apple. So you get 4 grams roughly of fiber. I don't know if there's 2 of each or one of one and 3 of the other. But you have that in there. There are, I read a whole slew of different things that said, it's packed full of vitamin C, and what was the other one? Calcium was another one, and something else, potassium, I think. But you look at it, and generally, and we had this discussion a long time ago, apples, oranges, bananas will pretty much keep you covered on all fronts for all that stuff. And if you're looking for vitamin C, go for an orange. If you're looking for vitamin A and, I was just going to say vitamins in general, vitamin A and fiber, go for an apple. If you're looking for potassium, go for a banana. Just those basics. This isn't anything that's going to be, you get 200% of what what your recommended daily intake is. You don't. It's quite a lot of work to get to it, but it's something a little bit different. And really, that's the only reason why we're doing this. Not to sort of say, you can have these instead of apples now, and I feel like I have something on my face. Oh, God, I don't have any on my face. It's just my hands. That would be horrible if I get one in my eye. Oh, no, no, I'm okay. Nothing in my eye. But we aren't really trying to do this to say, this is what you need to do to replace this so that you can get all your fiber and your vitamin A and your vitamin D and F and B and P and all the other things. It's mainly just to say this is something new, this is something different, and if you sort of start getting bored of the apples or the oranges or the bananas or any of the other things that we've done, like pickles and dates and grapes, I was going to say mushrooms, but we haven't done them, but we kind of did a couple days ago. Anyway, but it's just something a little bit different to try, something new. Some of you may find that when you buy them, you're getting them, at a different time of the year than I am, because I'm trying to think why they would. Maybe they're all mild like this, but I've seen some people that have tried them. They just go, "Oh, it's amazing." Maybe my taste buds are just fucked. I have no idea. But I found it to be a very mild flavor on both of them. But you can taste that watermelon-y, raspberry flavor to it. So if you like those two, you'll probably like this. But it's really just to sort of, again, broaden our horizons and open ourselves up to different fruits and vegetables and all the other little things that are available. It gets a little difficult when winter starts coming on because it's just, a lot of stuff is out of season, and unless it's getting shipped way, way up, and then it's going to be super, super expensive, way, way up, and meaning from the southern hemisphere or near the equator, wherever they grow. These actually grow just in the U.S. anyway. It's a cactus plant, and they have them in Texas and New Orleans, New Mexico, and all the southern states around there. But in general, fruit is generally a little hard to. I said in general twice. It's a little hard to come by in the wintertime, and when you do get it, it's much more expensive. So we might take a look at a couple of other options for that, like frozen stuff. We talked about that before as well, and it's just as fresh because they pick it and they freeze it right then and there. So they flash freeze it, and it's just as good. So maybe we'll look at that next time. But for right now, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.